Hello watch lovers. Now then, I'm on the hunt for my next watch. And instead of doing my usual thing of impulse buying G-Shocks and Timexes, as much pleasure as that gives me, I'm actually going to start looking properly for the perfect watch. So I've been photographing, handling and browsing watches on a daily basis for over 10 years now. And I know the kind of thing I like when it comes to watches. But I'm sure, like me, you often find that the watch you like isn't always the watch you can afford and/or look good wearing. And I haven't found the perfect watch for me yet. Do I go with a diver, a chronograph, a Timex, or a GMT perhaps? There's just so many options. But luckily, I've learnt a few lessons that will help you avoid buyer's remorse and instead find the perfect watch for yourself. And I shall impart this advice for you now. So here's how you find the perfect watch. Let it commence. So first of all, what you need. When searching for the perfect watch, you should always ask yourself, what is it that I need? You should consider the requirements that your perfect watch will need to fulfill. Will you need it for business or pleasure? Or both? Do you need water resistance, shock resistance? Will you be wearing it to the proms or download festival? Will you need it to help you keep track of leap years? Because the kind of functions you require will help you determine what style of watch you really need. From a robust chronograph to a refined dress watch, or perhaps something in between, like a sporty, elegant all-rounder. So first of all, consider your needs and, equally importantly, consider your budget, because a watch will heavily vary in price depending on its specs, materials and purpose. And also brand. That's actually the biggest cost determining factor. And it's also worth noting that some watches have their own cool backstories, so that might also be a factor for you too. Does your perfect watch need to have some kind of historical significance? Like this Omega Seamaster, for example. It was actually the first James Bond watch to rake the moon or something. More often than not, a watch's appearance is inspired on its original function, when watches were tools built for professionals like divers, pilots, racing drivers, explorers, and others. So if there's a theme or era that particularly interests you, then you might find the perfect watch based around the activities you enjoy or the genres that resonate with you. You might also want to consider what's inside your perfect watch, because a watch can run either on an intricate mechanical movement, a magical assembly of gears, wheels and coiled springs, or it can run on a cold clinical quartz movement, a battery-powered affair that's just much more accurate and 10 times cheaper. In either case, the movement driving the watch can contribute to its character, with either a high-beat mechanical sweep of a seconds hand or a deliberate tick of a quartz caliber. Each one has its own unique charm, so ask yourself, are you a mechanical purist or will super accurate quartz satisfy you? So then, when you know the kind of thing that you're after, it's time to start the search. Now there's a lot of watches out there, like a lot, and plenty to choose from when it comes to brands, micro brands and independents, pre-owned and vintage, Invictas, etc. There are so many models and so few wrists to wear them on, it's a dilemma all watch lovers face. So start browsing online or do a bit of window shopping and start going to some stores to see what's there. And when you do go, make sure you press your nose right up against the glass of those boutique windows as well to get a really good look. Stores really appreciate it when you do that. They know that you're serious. And then find some models you like the look of. And then, this is really important, try on some watches. I know it's not always possible, but it is a really helpful step when finding the perfect watch. Because you see, you don't want to spend a ton of time lusting over a watch online, only to find that when you try it on, it just looks naff on your wrist. Looking at images and watching excellent videos like this one will give you a great impression of a watch, but if you want the complete picture, then seeing a watch in person is really valuable. You'll get a lot of insight into whether this is the perfect watch for you or not, mainly around the comfort of the fit and the size. So the average wrist circumference is around 7 inches, and generally a watch diameter between 38mm to 40mm is recommended for that size. But sometimes, due to the shape and contours of the watch, it could wear larger or smaller than those given dimensions, so it's always worth trying on a watch first. Try it on before you buy it, John. That's what I tell my friend John, who likes watches. And when trying on a watch, you might also find out some other useful information, like does the watch feel too light or too heavy? Does the bracelet tug on your arm hair? What does the action feel like? Is the clicky bezel satisfying to turn? And the winding of the crown and the pushing of the pushers? Does anything stand out? Like, is there anything that bugs you about the watch? Because bear in mind, if you don't like the look of the snowflake hour hand in the store, then you probably won't like the look of it at home a week later either. But even then, if the watch looks good and feels right, but you're still not sure, then it doesn't hurt to do a bit more research. I know it's difficult, but try not to succumb to the exciting impulse of the moment when confronted with beautiful shiny watches. That elated eagerness to get one on your wrist straight away may well give way to disappointment and confusion later on when you find out that the mass-produced fashion watch isn't in fact the watch that all the cool kids are wearing, as the salesman had previously implied. It's like Jedi Mr. Yoda says in episode 15, Attack of the Pogues. Impulse leads to doubt, doubt leads to regret, and regret leads to doubt again, or something like that anyway. So take your time, see what's the scuttlebutt, maybe check out some reviews, hang out on watch forums or in airport business lounges and see what people are saying about the watch. And if you really want to be thorough, you could check out some high-res imagery of the watch and see what the finishing is like at a macro level. You could find out what the watch is like to own long term. Does it patina awesomely? What are the servicing costs? And in that regard, it's important to note that both brand and complexity both determine the cost of servicing. The more prestigious the brand, and more importantly, the more complicated the watch is, the more you'll pay to have it serviced. But at this stage, you just want to double check that the good vibes you felt while trying on the watch in the store are going to persist for a very long time, and that you're not going to be put off by something weeks down the line. Now, how much stock you put into these things is down to you, but generally speaking, watches are just good. They do what they're supposed to do, tell time and look cool, and pretty much all of them do that just fine. But the real crux of a watch purchase is all going to be personal preference. So with that in mind, you should always just buy what you love, and buy it for yourself. You're more likely to doubt your purchase if you succumb to peer pressure, hype, or any other loud discourse that might influence your decision. Don't buy a watch to impress other people, or because Jay-Z or Jay Qualin wears one, or because you think it will help your door-to-door selling, as much as that may be the case. All of our tastes are different, and there isn't a watch brand out there that can please everybody with everything they put out, not even Patek Philippe, e.g. the Cubitus. So make sure you please yourself above anyone else. Because a watch can be a big purchase, and with so many models to choose from, and with new releases dropping like mad regular, you really want to maximise the amount of time before you're tempted to buy another one. And the best way to do that is to ensure a strong attachment to every watch purchase. Buy it for yourself, to wear and enjoy forever and ever. Amen. Strom. So before we get to the last piece of advice, did you know that you can find out about other amazing watches via our Watchfinder newsletter? To get exclusive access to new arrivals, be the first to hear about all our special offers and promotions, and to get first dibs on our giveaways, just head down to the link in the description to sign up. So lastly, in your search for the perfect watch, make sure you buy from a trusted source. Buy from somewhere reputable and legit. For example, if the freelance dentist you go to under the railway bridge offers you a discounted Rolex, decline. Competitively priced root canal treatments are one thing, but back alley Rolex purchases are never a good idea. Be smart, people. Another thing to consider is, unfortunately, there are a lot of fake watches out there, maybe more than there are genuine ones. And identifying them is becoming increasingly more difficult. And it's just too hard to make a call on whether a watch is genuine if you can't trust the seller in the first place. So it's just best to eliminate the risk of failing to spot a fake watch by buying from a reputable dealer and having the experts do the hard work for you. Plus you get all that good stuff from an established retailer, like experience, expertise, guarantees, and sometimes a free coffee if you buy in person. So there you go. That's all the wisdom I've got for you today and in general, and I hope it will help you find the perfect watch. And if indeed you are on the lookout for your perfect watch, then why not head over to watchfinder.com, where you can search thousands of models from all the best brands and find your next pre-owned luxury watch. Check it out, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.